But, first of all, we have to recognize that the system shown here was broken. And the text is very honest about this. This is a dumb system. Right? It was horrible for basically everybody. Right? And if you kept reading the story, it was horrible for Esau, it was horrible for Jacob, it was horrible for the entire family system. It just wasn't good. The second thing we need to remember is that how, even if we want to uphold this system and say, well, we want somehow to have a system based on Scripture, people who say that often want to go back to the 1950s of the United States. And we need to remember that the system in America in the 50s wasn't this system either. Because capitalism broke this system. Insofar as it was ever possible to have a system that was biblical, it isn't compatible with capitalism. So as long as you want to maintain capitalism as an economic system, this system is incompatible with it. So we can't, go back to the 1950s, and we can't pretend that the 1950s was somehow a biblical system, because it just wasn't. But now what? Again, the question. And I think the answer is that there is no single answer, which is a huge and wonderful relief, and it should be. That there is no longer one correct way to be a dad. And while, in the old days, supposedly there was one correct way to be a dad, it was nice because then you had, you had the pattern. The reality is that most of us didn't fit that pattern very well anyway. Right? We weren't this enough, or we weren't that enough, or we weren't something else enough. Right? And so, right, or we married women who were smarter than us, and that just didn't work, or women who were more capable than us, and that didn't work, and our kids weren't very obedient, and that didn't work, and, right? And so now, we have this, well, the old rules are broken, and there is no new set of rules. And that means that I'm free to have a marriage that's based on her and me and the best we can do. And you are free to have relationships that don't fit the old pattern because they don't fit who you are. And there's still lots of good stuff in this book that is going to help us. So we still got, lots and lots of ways of saying, wow, there's help here, and we can see that as things are moving in our society, some of those things don't work either. It's not like, well, we got it all figured out now because it's the 21st century. But still, right, there is this freedom. There's this freedom to be the best kind of dad I can be. And it doesn't look like this, and that's okay. And you're going to be a different kind of dad than I am, and you're going to have different kinds of dads than I am. And that's a beautiful thing, and we can figure this out together. I love being a dad. It's, I think at this point in my life, the core of my identity. If there's anything that is who I am, it's my kids. And my kids, they're doing stuff that's already so far beyond what I've ever done. And so, I love Father's Day, because I get to remember that however much my kids are good and bad because of me, at least they are because of me. I did have something to do with this. And so I wish you a blessed Father's Day. For those of you who don't have fathers anymore, take time to mourn. For those of you who had really screwed up dads, take time to mourn. For those of you who will never be fathers because you're the wrong gender, that's okay. But it's still pretty good to be a dad. Amen.
Amen.